Hey viewers, what's up? Got another equipment autopsy today. Um, so it's another piece of test equipment. Comes in a pretty nice box made out of wood. As far as I can tell and see, the exterior of it's actually in pretty darn good shape. It's got a little rip there, but other than that, and a little bit of rust on the actual hinges here, it's in pretty darn good shape. So what we have here is a B&K Model 465 CRT tester, or cathode ray tester. And what this does, it is it'll test cathode ray tubes for shorts, emissions. Can also remove shorts. In a moment I'll go into a little more detail what each one of these does, and I actually have an old vacuum tube TV, CRT TV, that I will run this on and just kind of show you what it does. But for now we'll have a look inside it. So it is, you do have to plug it in, 120 volts, and it's got two plugs coming off it. So you got the plug to plug it in, which is that one, and then you got this one here, which is actually what you use to plug into the back of the CRT tube. Now it comes with a whole bunch of different adapters. So here's a CRT CR57 adapter, and you can see there's two different type of CRT connections on it. Small ones for like little TVs. Then you get this fella here. There's no real number on it, but you can see this one's got 3 on it. So you can see there's different types, different number of pins. And then we got this fella here. Again, same there, and you've got some really big connections on the back. So you pick the one you need, and then you line it up. You plug it in, and then you hook this onto the back of the CRT and begin your testing. And so everything I can see is actually here. It's got the manual, it's got the model setup charts. So you look this up, you look up the CRT tube number, you figure out what the heater voltage is and all that. You got your actual instruction manual. In very good shape too, considering its age. Even a special note there, and parts lists. Even a wiring diagram. You got other B&K instruments, all old by today's standards, and just a few other minor things. So it's got quite a bit of different functions. So we got heater adjustment. Now, mind you, I'll have to look in the book a little bit. What I'll actually do is, instead of taking up so much time to explain it all, what I suggest you do is I'll hold the camera here for a sec, pause the video, and you can read what each one of these does. Alright, So like I say, if you want to read that bit, just pause the video there, and you'll know what each switch does. And the rest of the book just basically tells you what to do for each test. Restoring emissions, colored tubes, and the maintenance. So I've already taken the screws out, and we'll have a look inside it. Easy to take out of its box. As you can see, there's nothing in the box there, that's just a piece of foam. And what you got inside is, well, what you see here. Just like with the old vacuum tube multimeters and other Heathkit gear I've done autopsy videos on already, it's a lot of the same thing. And you got your transformers, you got rotating switches. You got a big switch here. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got like 4 layers on it. You got your meter. Got adjustments there. Some capacitors. A big rheostat down there. Other than that, there's not too much in it to see. But I'll hook it up to my old RCA CRT TV, and I'll kind of show you, what it can actually do. Alright, here's the TV, the RCA. Here's the sticker on the back. It is fairly old. It's a color TV, but there are tubes in it. There are 4 tubes. Let's see, 2 there and the 2 right there. And it's fairly big. A picture from the front. So I've already found out what tube it is, and on here it's a 21 VAUP22. So, and that determines its heater voltage, 6.3, and its G1 voltage, which is 40. I've already know which plug it is. So you unhook the regular plug that's hooked up to the TV, and you install the plug that goes to the tester, which I've already done. So what you do next is you switch it to heater adjust. You switch it to the voltage you need, the voltage range you need. So it's 6.3, so we switch it to 5 to 8. I'm just gonna move this book, it's blocking my light. And you adjust the heater adjustment until you get up to 6.3. That's pretty darn close right there. So once you get that up to its proper voltage, you set the G1 voltage, which was 40. So you set that on 40. And once you do that, you move on to the emission test for color tubes. So you first go to, you first set the function to cut off. So I'm going to be testing the red gun right now, and you bring up the G2 volts until the needle hovers just over the cut off needle, which is that long one just before. So I'll bring up the G2 volts, and you'll see. So that's where we want it. And then while it's there, you switch it over to emission. And you give it a moment to settle. So about 650. it's coming down just a little bit. It's about 650. So, and then you go back to here. So we'll test the green gun. And again, you'll need to adjust the needle so it's over the cut off. So just like that. Switch it to emission. And you give it a moment to settle. Now the green gun on this is fairly weak. You see it's dropping down, it's heading towards 400. But it's slowing down. So about, say about 425. So go back to emission, select the blue gun, and again, bring it down so it's just over the cutoff mark. So right about there. Switch it over to emission. And that's about in between the green and the red gun. So about 525, about 530. So then if you come over here, if the highest gun reading is no more than 1.5 times the lowest reading, the tube is good. So I got my calculator here. So the lowest reading was about 425. So 425, then times 1.5. So 637. The red gun was the highest at about 625, I think it was. It's close, it's borderline, but the tube is good. So this is not a black and white tube. So we skip the emission test and we move to the life test. So you set the function switch to the emission position, which it already is. Slide the life test switch to the right while watching the emission meter. Note the length of time before the meter starts to fall towards 0. So we got the life test. So I'm going to push it now. When testing color 2, repeat step 2 for all 3 color guns. If the meter pointer momentarily remains fixed or slightly increases and then slowly drops to 0, the tube is acceptable. If the meter reading begins to slump towards 0 rapidly, the tube cannot be expected to last much longer. So I'll try the life test again on the this is the blue gun. So it does actually go up and then it does gradually go down to 0. So that is good. Now I'll switch to the green gun. So I'll just give that a moment to come back up. Alright, so I'll press the life button. So it does gradually go up. Now that one falls a little bit quicker, and that's the weak gun. That's the green one. And now I'll switch to the red. Like I say, the red is the strongest of them all. And just a note, it says in the book here, in this test, the useful life of a picture tube is approximately predetermined by the mass of emitting material that is on the cathode of the picture tube, and also by the amount of gas present in the tube. When the meter reading falls rapidly to 0, there is probably excess gas in the tube, or there is only a small mass of active emitting surface left. Therefore, the tube cannot be expected to last much longer. Alright, so we'll do the red one and see how that goes. Again, it does go up, and it slowly comes down, which is good. That's what you want to see. So I kind of knew how that was going to go. The green gun is the weakest. There is a short, removing shorts, but I checked for shorts in this. I'll just show you guys again for shorts. So if there's a short, these will light up. So just watch. I'll switch between them. Nothing there. Nothing there. So there's no shorts in this tube. So we can skip the short test. There is a way to somewhat restore the emissions. So you set the switch to dyne low. And repairing a color tube, set the color switch to the gun that is to be rejuvenated. So let's see if we can rejuvenate the green one. Press the dynamic intensifier button momentarily. So now it's hard to see. You're better off looking here. I'll see if you can see it. You see the flash? Watch, here is one more time. Repeat the emission test again to see if it has improved. So we'll go to function. We'll bring this up to here. Now this is the green one. Now look at that. Look at the difference in that, and it's not dropping anymore. That's a big difference from just over 400 to well over 700. That's a big difference. I'll try the rejuvenation test on the other two. So we go over to dyne low, go to red, and snap the button. Go over to blue, snap the button. Now let's try blue. So blue didn't really respond very much. Hold on, this isn't quite on there. Let's try that one more time. Yeah. Well, let's see if red responded at all. Not too much of a difference. But green seemed to respond considerably. There's your green one again. So that's over 750 now. Now if the dyne low test doesn't work very much, you can do a medium or a high. It gets more intense each time you do it, so I'll try it on a medium. For red and for blue. So go over to cut off. Okay, so that's blue. So that has actually come up. She's dropping a bit. And we go over to red. That has come up considerably as well. So the blue seems to be the worst off. So let's try setting that to high and do the blue. Okay, there's blue snapped. A little bit better. So that does help to restore the emissions in tubes. So you got a different kind of color test. You've got a repairing open elements. If a filament has unstarted itself inside the the tube, it is possible to reattach it by doing basically what it'll do is it'll attempt to re-weld the connection inside. You actually have to tap the back of the tube while applying a bit of a current, and if it works, it'll re-weld itself. But that's actually it. So yeah, that's a B&K Model 465 CRT tester, and that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everyone.